I was going to make a video where I have energy and dance about. We caretake the village hall. I say we, my parents, we as in my family. So I could bounce about the village hall because it's next door. I won't give you too many clues because you might know where I live then. But it shows how little energy I have that I can't even bother to try and have energy for a video. And I was even going to play the piano for a video. But I haven't done that either. I've just had a couple of Valium, diazepam, 10 milligrams, and this must be placebo because it takes a few hours for it to work. And it's only been half an hour, so maybe it's just my system shutting down naturally anyway. But yeah, I don't take. I stopped taking Valium months ago because it helped, but it was just meant that when it left my system, I was even more anxious. So not ideal. But if I take Valium, then I'm not drinking alcohol because one of the biggest risks of diazepam and alcohol is death, apparently. So whatever. And I don't want that. I think I said at the end of the last video that I don't want to live. Today I've been to an under-30s group with Campus Recovery College. Campus Recovery College kicked me out 3.5 years ago because I was disruptive. But the way I saw it was I was disruptive because I wasn't contributing, but I really was disruptive because I left. Stormed out like 3 occasions, but they weren't clear that I'd broken the code of conduct. Meant to read between the lines. It wasn't run properly, and they needed to be clear with what I did wrong, but they weren't. And then I was let go, and they could have had my life in their hands. They were like, "Here's some charities that can help you. We can't help you. That's not what we're here for." I don't think I was having therapy at the time, or I started that year. I don't know. Struggling with medication that wasn't working for me because at the time I was diagnosed bipolar. And last year, a year and a half ago, not 2.5 years ago, did I say year and a half? Beginning of 2022, I was kicked out of recovery college. And last year, before I had my autism assessment, I was got rid of the bipolar diagnosis because they'd realised the psychiatrist had said, "Look, you've displayed no symptoms of bipolar for the 2 years I've been seeing you, or however long it was, a year, whatever." There was enough evidence to prove I'm not bipolar. That what happened in the manic episode in 2015, or the psychotic break, whatever it was triggered by my autism and being 16 and having a breakup and not having friends, a breakup from a first relationship which was toxic, and college not going well because education doesn't really fit me. Oh, a lot of stress, build up of coping with school and all that trauma. Complex trauma in the sense that it's complex because I'm complex, not as in... I've always hated saying I have trauma or I've lived with trauma. I don't currently have trauma because I've not been abused physically, sexually, whatever. I've just been bullied in my life. The bullies would manipulate me to think that I wasn't being bullied because we'd have a school assembly telling us that bullying has to happen every day for it to be bullying. So they were like, it's not happening every day, when it was, but I was picked on, so I used to say I was picked on, I wasn't bullied, because bullied's such a strong word. It's like, when I'm low, I don't say I'm depressed, because depressed is such a strong word, or trauma. You've got all these labels, and they're so heavy. And is that stigma? Yes, I guess so. But I did a group today for under 30s, and that was good because I've not been doing groups with young people, specifically under 30s, and I'm 26, so I did speed dating a year and a half ago, and that was 24 to 38. Been thinking of doing that again, but it's just swiping, but you have a conversation. Ugh. It's a pressurized environment. I'm not going to find any relationship online or. But it's like, go to enough groups, I'll meet someone who cares about me and who I am. I have met people who care about me because they see me as me and not my past. The past exists in our head. It doesn't exist in reality. It exists on film, digitally, or photos. The Ramblings of a Sane Man is the title of this video. The ramblings of a sedated man by the feel of it. 10 milligrams of Valium can't be doing this to me. I was prescribed 5 milligrams many months ago, and my psychiatrist was very hesitant because it's addictive. But luckily I've had negative repercussions from it, and the half-life is 3 days, so it's pretty cool. But because of having negative experience, I've not really wanted to go back to taking it again. And then I went through the medicine drawer, and it was there, and I was like, oh, that could be useful someday. Stopped me from drinking, and I was starting to drink every other day and not get drunk, but just a beer. And then the more you drink, you build up a tolerance, and then you have to drink more. So taking Valium stops me from drinking alcohol. It's funny how I say drinking, and then I remember I used to think drinking, why people say they have a drinking problem when everyone drinks. Lots of people have drinking problems because they don't stay hydrated, so that form of drinking problem. Drug and alcohol misuse means there is a use of drug and alcohol. Can you see that I'm growing a bit of a goatee? Got this haircut, which is shorter in the middle and longer on the sides. Inside, it grows really quite quickly. Jesus, that's quite obvious, isn't it? It's nice. Just keep it growing, bro. Because it's good to try new looks. Although maybe it's like I didn't sleep too well last night, so might be partly why I'm like kind of right now. And yeah, so the social group was at the edge of Reading College, which is where I went to, which I hadn't been at for 5.5 years. And I was really struggling at the end of my days, and I quit, and then I went back and I was worse, and then COVID happened, so there was no point me going back. And bless the tutors, they did all they could, and they gave me a pass for performing arts. And the building that I was studying that in now is completely refurbished and is a theatre. It was a theatre anyway, kind of, and the social group was there. You don't have to walk through the college grounds to get there, you just walk round and you go straight into the theatre, so that was nice. Young people, it's good to be seeing young people, being around my peers.